3. So go ahead and get to know each other. Who you're going to be locked in on haunted house. All right, everybody feel safe? Who you're with?
This one's going good.
Has anybody ever investigated before? You guys said, like, St. Augustine, you've done some things, and Lizzie Jordan House. Anybody else? No? You've been here to investigate before many times last night?
Did drunken times with friends count? Or?
Did anything happen?
Technically.
Technically?
It was on video. It's up to anybody else whether or not it was real. So.
There you go. That's good. Has anybody been to the property before? Yeah, that's right. You said many years ago, right?
Yeah, like
2 years ago. 2 years ago? 2 years ago? What'd you do then? History tour, ghost tour?
History tour.
History tour?
The tour here as well.
And then cool. Welcome back. Welcome here, first timers too. So let's see. I want to give you some ideas too. When you go in here tonight, you're going to be in the dark. Okay, you're going to be holding this equipment right here. And you're going to maybe ask yourself, what do I say? How do I get activity? How do I reach out? You know, a lot of people have brought that to my attention, that is their concern. And I just want to give you some pointers and maybe some ideas as far as how you can go about it. I know on television shows, right? Everybody's seen that, and that might be why some of you are here, right? On the television shows, keep in mind that they show you when things happen. All right, it is all divided up and cropped up and put up on TV for people to watch, right? So my first suggestion is to have patience, because many times I have guests who will go into a room and they walk out after 5 minutes and they say, "We got nothing. The place is not haunted." And you know, sometimes it just takes a little bit, and you know, if you go to an area and you don't get activity, that's okay. Don't lose hope when you go to the next area, all right? Also, when you go in here, I invite you to use who you are as people and to get creative, all right? A lot of times people come in or shows or anywhere else and they'll say, you know, why are you here? Who are you? All of these sorts of questions. And we all are wondering that. And if you want to ask that, by all means, ask it, you know? But keep in mind, too, we run this event weekly. All right, I'm always here. It's hot in the summer. It's cold in the winter. A lot of variables are the same, but what has changed for tonight is you all. All right, so here's an idea. Maybe introduce yourself when you go in here. They know me. They're probably sick of me, honestly. But, you know, maybe start by building a rapport. Maybe talk about something that they would want to talk about. Maybe when you go in here, we do have some children spirits, and if anybody is good with kids at all, you know, maybe make something into a game. Have fun with them, make them want to talk, make them want to interact, you know. So that's what I'm trying to get at with use who you are and get creative and whatnot. Does anybody have any questions so far on how it's going to run or anything?
All right, I got a question. When you're asking those questions, is that verbally out loud, or are you doing that?
Yeah, so of course, up to you. Then you get into theory and whatnot. I do believe that realm is a entirely mental realm because this is the third dimension, and past that there is no physicality. But when we, as third dimensional beings, make a statement or ask a question, in our essence, you know, that we're putting that intention and adding that weight, and I think that does help. So I would say personally to yes, say it out loud. Yeah, and I just had that question a couple nights ago too. So yeah.
Now on TV they yell out.
They can hear you. They're either going to hear you or not. You know, I mean, yelling at them doesn't, you know, make them want to. You know, that is a good point though because.
Are you here?
Yeah. When you go in here too, think of the spirits maybe not as something else entirely, but as people, as you or I. When you are meeting someone new or talking to anybody ever, really, do you run up at them and say, "Why are you in Savannah?" Probably not going to go over as well as if you said, "Hi, I'm Annie." You know, so maybe try to have that approach with it when you go in here. There is one thing that must remain consistent within all of us, staff and guests, and that is that we have no negative energy here. We don't want it. We don't need it. If you are the type of person to invite it, that's awesome that that's what you want to do, and you can certainly do that outside the gates. Our staff here is very dedicated. We're here quite a bit, and personally, honestly, I will not take someone's hard-earned money and put them in a situation where they're going to get hurt, right? So we don't want it, we don't need it. Please don't go about it in that sort of manner. The people I'm going to tell you about that we believe are here were real people. They did suffer. We'll go more in depth with that when we go inside as well. But any other questions so far? No. Okay, let's dive into this equipment here. I'm going to pass it out per team. First up is just a walkie-talkie. Basic, right? There's little clippies. You can clip it right to you. I have one. Mr. Dakota has one. We're not locking you in and running away, right? You can be reached. This is for two things only. Number one is this is how you'll know when to rotate. I'll come on the walkie. It'll probably scare you at first, maybe the second time too. I'm not trying to do that. I'll come on the walkie and let you know where you're going. Number two is if you need something. All right, if at any point for any reason you would like a break, let us know. Either Dakota or I can come get you, no problem. We do have a lot of instances where people choose to sit out certain areas, certain rooms, things like that. It happened last night. The three ladies sat out almost the entire basement time. So no shame with that. Just let us know what you need. That's what we're here for. If you're getting some activity, we are super excited about it. That's why we're here. But if you announce it on this guy, everybody else is going to hear it, and it may interfere with what they're getting. So let us know at the end in the debrief. We can go over all of that. But here's one per team. Who wants the way out? That's what you got to ask yourself.
Hold on. Love the information.
Next up, flashlights. We will be going up and down stairs in the mansion as well as the carriage house back there. There is a variety of surfaces you are walking on. Let's everybody be safe. Watch where you're going. Also, you can use this as a tool for finding activity, right? Some ideas with that. Maybe you want to turn it on, loosen the back a little bit. Maybe set it down. Ask Spirit to turn it off. Ask Spirit to turn it on. Leave it off in the beginning. We've had people have success with this, whether it is tightened or loosened. So dealer's choice on that. I've had people say, can you roll it away from me? Can you roll it towards me? Most success with this activity happens upstairs in the carriage house or in the lower level. I don't hear it as much at all from the parlor rooms. Just so you know that. But definitely try what you would like to tonight. So here's 2 per team with the flashlights. Here you are. Oh, there you go.
I don't have one.
There you go. Anybody seen this guy? Yeah? Yeah? Bonus round, what is it measuring? Yeah. That's why I like this. The tours are fun, but these are my people. I thought we were done for. I wasn't expecting that. You are good? You need batteries or anything?
No, the lens came off.
Okay. This right here, yes, exactly, is measuring EMF. Basically, it's measuring energy. The green light is on just means the device is on. The more energy it detects, the more it will light up with different colors to indicate for you there. It is not a ghost meter, right? Meaning, just because it goes off doesn't guarantee there's a ghost with you. Maybe, check it out. Here's how you can tell. So with this, it's going to detect all kinds of energy. So if this were to go up to maybe the 3rd light, for example, if it stays there and it's constant, that's going to be your baseline reading, meaning maybe that energy is coming from somewhere that can be explained naturally, all right? Because with the paranormal, what we're looking for is what is scientifically unexplained. So if you are standing there and you're holding this device or have it set down, which is what you want, maybe you ask a question or you're talking about something that you think will get their attention, and maybe it goes all the way up, all the way back down, all right, usually pretty quickly. Then you can ask yourself, why would it detect that much more energy suddenly? You know, that's where you get into what is the paranormal. So maybe ask the same question, maybe ask it a different way. I will be giving 2 of these per team, simply because we had one night where a team had these on opposite ends of the room. If, I can get Dakota to fix that for you.
Oh, I got
And
it.
we probably have extra too. We had a team put one of these on opposite ends here of the room, or not here, sorry, it was in the lower level, and one of them started going off, fluctuating. Okay, and they said, all right, they said, I see you over there. Can you leave that one and go to this one across the room? And sure enough, this one quit reacting, and the other one started to. And to me, I was like, that's pretty cool. You know, I don't know how to explain that. So here's 2 of these for you all. Yeah, they weren't expensive until they started to use them for ghosting.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I can get batteries in one. So everybody has phones, right? Because it is the 21st century, and we all need to be reached at all times. But with your phones, you can use them tonight when you're investigating. For example, take some pictures, record some audio, record some video, all good stuff like that. However, you do want your phones in airplane mode. If you do not, it will make this equipment go off when it shouldn't, just like right over here.
Oh, yeah.
7-second delay.
You were beeping. You're not airplane mode, you were beeping. But he was. That was on.
And when you are using your phones tonight, I do have some suggestions for you as far as that goes. Take some audio recordings because you can capture maybe EVPs, which some of you may know about that, where you record the audio and then you play it back later.
That's gonna be my question. Like, how, are the microphones on your phone sensitive enough for that?
Yeah, we've gotten some really cool stuff.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So record audio. Take some pictures. When you are taking photos, though, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you take 3 at once with no movement. Because if you do like a burst mode or something like that, and you have those 3, then if you have something strange in one photo, not in the others, that gets way more interesting, right? So try the 3 at once. I do have something for you that could perhaps aid you in your auditory evidence tonight. This is called a ghost box, spirit box, voice box, all the same thing, right? And it's that one that goes. Anybody heard of these before?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, there you go.
I got one about that.
Oh, cool. So this is basically a radio. And when you use this device, there is 2 buttons that you're going to have to worry about, all right? Number 1 is power. You press it, hold it, it comes on, you can let go. Number 2 is sweep reverse. And you can remember that sweep like seek. Because in your car, you press seek, it goes through the stations, you know? That's kind of what we're doing here, through different radio stations. Now the theory is that we, with this device, are establishing an energy source for the spirits to use to come through to communicate. Right? So in theory, they're going to talk to you in real time, basically. Now, it is a radio, so you will hear, different things come through like that, you know, from the stations. When it's something more paranormal in nature, you will know. There is a distinction. All right? The dead giveaway is that thank you for that, is that the words, the phrases of the spirit that come through will elongate past one radio station. All right? So does that make sense? That's how you can tell. Also, it sounds like it goes over, it like overlays the white noise instead of coming through it. A lot of people say their voice sounds louder, things like that. So when you use this, I'd recommend turning it on, getting it ready to go. The speaker is on the back, so maybe set it down and have your phone recording audio next to it. So if you hear something, you can always play it back and hear it again. But take a look at these and make sure that you feel comfortable with this and ask me any questions if you are. If you have any questions.
Give me a flashlight.
No? Okay. I was going to say, because sometimes it'll help in our Yeah.
So can I use my ghost box thing?
Yeah, go for it.
I got a ghost bed too.
Yeah?
That's awesome.
Is everybody good on those?
Yeah.
You guys are already having way too much. That's good though, because if you go in there with that kind of energy, some people think that'll like help it out, bring out.
Oh, I don't think they want any. She's a downer, but the rest of us are great. She's ready. I'm ready to hear for this.
We stretched.
So is there any questions on any of the equipment that I've given you? No? Everybody feels comfortable. All right, so the equipment in your hands right now, that's what you are in charge of for the night. That's what you're taking with you as you move around, and then that's what you'll turn back into me at the end of the night. There's 2 more items right here that I have to share with you. These 2 items will be stationary, so we will leave them where they're set up for you. This one here has a digital temperature display at the top. The middle part here says EMF sensor. It flashes blue when it detects energy. All right. So it's like one of those that I gave you right here, like that's built in. The bottom set of lights is measuring vibration. So stomp your foot, somebody.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to put this for you in an area where there's a lot of reports of footsteps. So if you're hearing that, you can go check this device, see if it's picking it up. This right here has its own energy field around the antenna. Okay? When you break that field, it lets you know through lights and sound. It's kind of spooky when you're, in the dark and this, we've had nights where all of them go off. We've had nights where none of them go off. It seems kind of like a 50-50 shot. But when they do go off, we have had a lot of success with asking specific things. So saying like, on the count of 3, can you get closer? On the count of 3, can you back away? Can you make the blue light go, the green light go? Things like that. So some things for you to try as far as that goes. Is there any questions on these 2?
We're not allowed to touch them or move them?
No, because then we have to recalibrate them as well. Yeah. Anything else? No? You guys want to go inside?
Yes.
Yeah? Cool, we'll head right this way.
What is it? The lovings? The tiny lakes. That comment was. You found it. Did you see us laughing? Yeah.
Like so ready. Alright, welcome inside everyone. We are standing now in a 10,000 square foot Greek revival mansion. Alright, that does not include the wine cellar and the carriage house, but we won't see all square inches tonight, but we do have plenty of space to cover for sure. This house was built in 1838 for Francis Sorrel and his wife Matilda. Now, when a place is haunted, any location anywhere is haunted, and people figure figure this out and they're having experiences, the first thing that people do is say why. And they go to the history, right? And they're researching and they uncover things that are more often than not laced with tragedy. Events that took place that are more sorrowful, that ring true with us today, and we're still experiencing those events taking place sometimes, right? And those people that were involved. And the same goes for the Sorrel-Weed House. So I love the energy that everybody has, and I definitely want to keep it going. But for right now, we do need to take it down just a little bit because we have to show respect for those that were in this house and what they experienced. Now, March 27th of 1860 is where we're going to. All right, and the Sorrel family is living here at this time, and Francis Sorrel was nowhere to be found on this day, and neither was Molly. And Matilda, the lady of the house, goes searching. Now, the Sorrels had 9 to 15 slaves at this time. And you're going to see in the top level of the carriage house was the communal living space for those 9 to 15 slaves, except there was one room off to the side by itself, and that was Molly's room. She was the head housemaid out of all of the slaves, meaning she was more in charge. She did have more responsibility, and so she's usually around for whatever Matilda needs. Matilda goes searching through the house, exhausts her efforts here, goes to Molly's room. She does find Molly, unfortunately also her husband Francis, forcing himself upon Molly. She comes back here to her home. She goes 2 floors up to the balcony on this side. She goes over the railing into the courtyard below, landing head first. She did meet her demise in the courtyard this day, and 2 weeks later, as the family is mourning Matilda, they find Molly again in her room. This time they find her hung from the rafters. There is mystery surrounding both of these deaths. Okay, I heard Matilda was pushed. She jumped. She fainted. Various other things as well. But what we know for certain is that in a local cemetery in Savannah is the Sorrel family crypt. And outside of that family crypt is where Matilda is laid to rest. She is not with her family, which typically indicates that it was a suicide death. Molly's death was way less documented, so it's way more mysterious to us today. We'll never be sure what exactly happened to Molly, but most do believe that the spirits of Molly and Matilda remain here amongst the rest with the house. And Sci-Fi Channel's Ghost Hunters found some evidence of this when they investigated in 2005. And, many more since then, and it does continue on. So you are most definitely welcome to reach out to either Molly or Matilda. Do keep in mind, yet again, these topics, be it rape, suicide, murder, and slavery, is nothing to take lightheartedly or to make jokes about. If you are looking for Matilda, you probably want to look upstairs in the parlors. And I'm going to share with you the parlors, too. If you are looking for Molly, the carriage house, the slaves' quarters upstairs, Molly's room. If you want to look down here for Molly, that's not absurd. We have had recent reports that perhaps she does roam the lower level from time to time. Reason being, this level during the time of the Sorrel's occupation was exclusively for the slaves. We are standing in what was the main kitchen area. There was more kitchen space over there. I do want to share with you the back 2 rooms, but the reason that I have started this off right here is because of the breezeway behind me. This breezeway is home to one of our most famous spirits. This gentleman is seen when he is experienced, visually or in photograph form, and he is always described the same, abnormally tall with indistinguishable features. So we refer to him as Shadow Man because he looks like a 3-dimensional shadow. Now, when I first started working here, they said he was seen pacing back and forth or standing in the doorways, and that does still happen today. We do still hear people seeing him that way. But way more lately, I'm hearing that people are seeing him darting around back here, just kind of moving quickly about. And I've heard people say that he stands in between the staircase and the breezeway, which is really cool because the other night, I think it was last week, I was running an investigation and I didn't tell my guests that bit of information because I hadn't heard it in a little while. And then after the investigation, 2 people from different teams came up to me and said, oh, when you were in there talking in the beginning, I saw what I thought now, what I think now is Shadow Man, a shadow standing in between the staircase and the breezeway right there. And they separately came up and told me that. So I thought that was really neat. So keep your eyes open when you're down here. We have put a chair over here. It's not antique, so you can have a seat in that chair at some point. We put it there because many people wanted to interact with Shadow Man, and we have had a lot of reports from there. People feeling a pressure on their chest, feeling like they're being watched, people hearing as if someone sat down or got up from the chair. More extreme cases, I have had a gentleman leave. He was sitting over here in the dark alone, and he went out to the courtyard where I was, and he was in tears, and he said he felt as if every emotion he'd ever experienced had come rushing upon him at once. He said he was extremely overwhelmed. He never felt that before. He was fine when he got to the courtyard, but he did not visit that spot again that night. But we have had a lot of mediums, say they don't like this area, they don't go back in there too much. So if you need a friend, you're certainly welcome to sit over here and try to meet with Shadow Man. Let me know if you see him tonight. But as promised, I want to share with you the back too, so you guys can head straight back into that first room right there. You're doing Shadow. Alright, this room was the living room. Not too spooky sounding. Probably would have been done. Also, probably a secondary kitchen where the slaves would have eaten their meals. Real quickly, I do want to point out on this one, there is a lot of antiques. Actually, doing our history tour guide. They are eligible to crumble, so just be aware that they are over there. There's two paranormal reports from this room that really stand out that I'm hearing consistently. Number one is a feeling. Right? A lot of people walking inside, crossing the threshold, and saying they feel as though the atmosphere in here is heavy, 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 heavy. Number two is photographs. A lot of people capturing some strange images. We have an image of a lady standing over here when nobody else was in the room. We had a series of photos with some strange lights we were unable to duplicate over on this side. So maybe take some pictures while we're in here. Now, this room right over here that I want to take us to next is my favorite room of the mansion. Before we enter, I do have to say, is anybody wearing earrings? Yes? No? No? Good. Cool. You guys can have that on the neck.
They're not like hoops, so they're not long.
But they are earrings?
Yes.
If they are valuable to you. Or honestly, if anybody has any necklaces or anything like that that is valuable, if it was your grandmother's, if it was expensive, you might want to pocket that before we go into that room. And reason being, when I started working here and they're telling me what to say, they say, okay, you have to tell your guests that, because over in this room, one earring might go flying across the room and we'll never see it again. And I thought it was a scare tactic. I didn't believe that happened, so I didn't tell people. And then after I started giving tours, guests of mine were losing an earring, and it got to the point where a lady did value them, and we couldn't find it, and she was very upset. I took it personal. I believe it was my fault. So ever since then, I do tell people this does happen. It's different. We've had it where people feel it, where they don't. We have had it hit another guest and hit the floor. It happened to a tour guide. She quit. And the reason I brought up necklaces, the reason I brought up necklaces is because we had a tour guide, Graham, who was giving a tour recently. He took everybody in that room, and a lady had a necklace, and it was pulled from the front, and it broke completely. So that's why I brought that up too. But when you are ready, folks, you can head straight into this room here, and make sure you join security first, because otherwise everyone doesn't follow me. Anybody want to guess what this room was? Yep. This room, this room before the Civil War was used as a surgery. It was the surgery of Dr. Frank. He was Francis' son, and he was very good at what he did, but he specialized in trauma surgery. So, he's digging bullets out of people. He's dealing with broken bones, which leads to amputations. But because of the nature of what he's doing, he did lose over 50% of his patients right here in this room. Many think, maybe that's why this room today is considered the most physically active room of the mansion. So we do get varying reports. People hearing feet on this flooring, people hearing different things from the desk as if something was being moved or the papers shuffled. We had that lamp right over there fell off by itself one time. People have had strange noises from the corner. That happened last night. Somebody said they heard as if something was being moved over here. And again, I didn't tell that bit last night before the investigation happened. So all different kinds of things, but most of the reports from this room are physical. So people feeling their shirts tugged, their hair pulled, jewelry being played with. Also internally, people walking inside and feeling suddenly dizzy, suddenly nauseous, sudden headache. I'll never forget, I gave a tour here once, and after this room, I allowed folks to walk around and take some pictures, and I stood out here. And a young girl on my tour, she walked in the room, and then she walked back out. She walked in, and she walked back out. And she came up to me later, and she said, I don't believe in any of this. She said, I'm here for my friends, but when I was in that room, I felt nauseous. And when I left, the feeling left. Walked back into the room, she felt nauseous again. So I thought that was interesting that she was testing it against the threshold of the room. If you feel comfortable enough to do that, do it by all means. If you feel uncomfortable, it is never a good idea, though, to make yourself feel that way. So if you do need to leave, the room, or go out to the courtyard, no problem at all. Again, this does happen. I've had to lead a lot of guests out for my tour, too, from when they enter this room. And then you heard from Dakota tonight where he was talking about the kid feeling as though a limb had gone numb. That is a common occurrence as well from this room here. Now, I do want to point out this chair and the chair to that desk. These are the two pieces of furniture in the lower level that we cannot sit on. All right, this guy has an antenna, so that's probably not going to be fun for you. This chair to this desk is going to break if you try to sit in it. But both chairs are known to move by themselves, so do keep an eye and ear out for that. On the other side, over here, this sofa, I would invite you to have a seat on at some point tonight. You're not going to be comfortable, though. It's not a comfort thing, right? The sofa, the reason the sofa remains in the museum is because we've had people tell us that they have visited the property again because of that sofa. There have been many people who have had experiences while sitting there. For example, feeling touched, feeling as though someone sat next to them. They turn and look, no one is there. We've also had a lot of people who have sat there or stood in this area and felt like somebody was touching their ankles, like their feet and their lower calf. Also shoes being untied, and we attribute this to one of our favorite spirits on the property. Her name is Sarah, all right? And if you're here to have a good time tonight, this is probably where you want to be. Sarah is a young girl, and she hangs out in here mostly, and she likes to play hide and seek, all right? She has the advantage, obviously, but it's still fun. We've had a lot of activity with that. We've had flashlights go out when people ask if she wants to play. My favorite was a lady with a spirit box, and she's playing hide and seek. She's walking around the room, and she goes next to the table here. She pauses, and on the spirit box came a little girl's voice that said, "You found me," which I thought was great, right? So maybe play hide and seek with Sarah tonight. And let's see, is there anything else you guys want to know about the lower level? Any questions at all on the lower level or anything at all? History, paranormal? No? Feeling good? Mm-hmm. All right. So I do want to share with you the parlors as promised, and then we'll break into our teams and investigate. So you guys can head straight over here around that wooden table. I'll meet you in that room and take us upstairs together. would have been with business dealing, and so would have been business people. But other than that, I don't have much to say about it. Because we do get reports of paranormal activity from that room, but they are kind of few and far between, mostly inconsistent things. So you are more than welcome to investigate that room. Maybe there's something that you can give me to share with the next week. But most of the activity on this level occurs right here in this area and in the part of the rooms beyond these doors here. In this area, a lot of people experience hearing footsteps, and I've had a few people tell me they hear as if a bowling ball is rolling on the floor. I don't know why, I don't know what that means. I've heard it, I've told it from the audio from our cameras. I don't know why, but that's what they're hearing. Also, the doors opening and closing. Just had one of the history tour guides ask me about that and say, "Do you ever have people say that?" Because we did it, and I said, "Yes, all the time." So be on the lookout for that. Whenever I run a investigation or I give a tour, people always ask me the same thing. They want to know one of my own experiences here on the property. And I have had quite a few that really stand out to me. One of them was right here in this area. It occurred when I was giving a tour. And I was downstairs with the tour, and I planned to bring them up here through this door, across the foyer, and into the parlors. So I started moving up the steps with these 20-some people, and I opened this door. And when I did, I heard voices coming from these rooms. And I thought, oh my gosh, there are we a tour happening in the parlors right now? And I panicked. And as I crossed the way here, the adrenaline in my body reacted. My mind was racing. I'm thinking, how is this happening? Who is in there? This is going to be a disaster. And I opened this door, and immediately the voices ceased. And that has stayed with me because I do not know how to explain that. And it does make sense when you learn the history of the rooms and what is said to occur there today. So I definitely want to share that with you. As we enter, I'm going to leave this device on the stairs here. And it's going to light up because it's going to calibrate for just a second. With that one, we go right away. A little different than downstairs. So in these rooms, in the parlor rooms tonight, the furniture in here is off limits to us. It's old, it's fragile, some of the backs, some of the legs, things like that. If you would like to have a seat on the rug, you are more than welcome to do that. And reason being too, in these rooms, one thing that I do recommend is audio recording, spirit box, using that. So if you want to like everybody sit in a circle, kind of record, I don't know, up to you. But because the reason I suggest that is because in these rooms, we have much evidence to suggest that there are parties going on. Now, if you look back in history, yet again, these rooms here were used by the Sorrel family for their parties. They were known for their parties, and they were massive and they were elegant. And they have a table stretched out here in both rooms, all kinds of food. Everyone feasts. Then the table is removed. A band is set up next. Everybody dances on the same floors that we're standing on now. This is original seamless Georgia heart pine through these parlors. After the dancing, the night is wearing on. They have the furniture brought back in. The men lounge in this room. This is the gentleman's parlor room. Right? The men in here, they are drinking brandy. They are smoking cigars, talking business, discussing politics, assuming that the ladies in the ladies' parlor are sipping tea, talking life in Savannah. Maybe that's what they're doing. Some people think, though, that the ladies are smoking and drinking over there and talking about the men in here. I don't know, it's probably what I would be doing, but you can come to your own conclusions. But that's where it gets fun, is because up here, you are in a paranormal party. We've had people who gender divide, maybe switch it, see if that causes anything. You guys are kind of out of luck for that, right? But try different things like that. You heard Dakota, talking about on his tour, they heard piano keys being played. That is a very common report from this room, and that was happening long before we ever put a piano in here. But since we have put the piano in here, it is happening more. And I have a personal theory that it happens more to people who do play music. Is there anybody who does play? No? Nobody at all? Come on, guys, it's fun. We recently had a mother-son team here, and the son was standing next to the piano during the investigation, and he's like classically trained, played since he was 3, and his mom's over here in the ladies' parlor looking for activity, and he says to the spirits, "Can you play a C?" Because he's thinking, if they play that, I can identify it by ear. And he asked that. He didn't hear the piano, but he did hear his mom come from all the way over here, walking pretty briskly towards him, and she's saying, "What are you doing? They told you not to play the piano." So she had heard it over there. We've also had instances where the team up here asks, and the team below hears the piano play. We've caught it from the audio recorders on the cameras as well. So that definitely is something you can ask for. Take some pictures in the room. We've gotten a lot of strange photos in here, especially in the mirrors, that kind of thing. Let's see, two quick notes is that the door over here in this parlor room does close by itself at a certain point. It's not a ghost. It's going to happen every time, okay? Number 2 is that this house is old. So whoever is downstairs and whoever is up here, just be aware there is some level of being able to hear. So maybe you don't want to stomp, maybe you don't want to shout, things like that, But is there any last questions, comments, or concerns before we begin? No. Everybody feels good. Everybody's ready. Put the energy out there. Find some ghosts, right? Let's see. You want to start here in the parlors?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, cool. All right. The rest of us, we're going to head right back down where we came from and disperse from there. Is that ready? Yeah, ready. Okay. Listen to her room. Where the gentleman's room. Is this right?
I just don't know what we do. You know what I mean? Like, I know she told us everything, but then I'm still like, how do we begin?
I don't
Do you want to set like one of these things down, like on one end, and like
Where's
one
the
on like the other? Oh, I got it right here. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, also, I don't like your this part when you care about putting the flashlights on her, just in the mirror and getting a photo.
Yep.
Exactly what I'm
Should we
doing.
take a picture of the thing? Because remember that's where the there's
Yeah, I saw it.
pictures and the
Also, I don't know why you guys don't do this.
like.
Let's do it.
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
I don't know flash. Are we gonna make this?
Oh,
We
gotta
share.
share pictures. Are we gonna make them? Yes. Should we not? We shouldn't make them.
Well, I don't. Hang on.
Was there something sorry?
Really? Okay, great.
Oh.
That is the worst. How is Dawn so perfect? That's a great thing.
36 in a day. That's for a mixtape.
Should we do the?
Oh my gosh. Alright, let's ask it questions.
Do you want this? Oh, look.
Oh, wait, no.
I was by it. Just kidding.
Is your phone on airplane?
Yeah.
You are worse with that. I get around you immediately.
Do you want me to turn on the white box thing?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Is that a
White
voice
noise box?
voice thing? So this
Oh, wait,
is the
that's
men's,
all.
sorry. This is the men's room, right?
Okay. And then
Don't like
yeah.
that. Okay, birds, an all-time high with that. Okay,
wait, hang on.
That.
Okay, now it's going.
This is the best comment I've heard.
All right, now it's going. Now what do we do?
Okay, so we're in the men's section, right?
Yeah.
So,
Hello, gentlemen.
oh geez.
I have this feeling.
I haven't not had goosebumps since we walked.
I don't know
in.
what
The
to
second
I'm gonna say that right now. I don't want to.
My head felt like it was being squeezed in our surgery room.
That's what it is.
These are the men, yeah?
Can you play the piano? Can you play the C?
Yeah. We're not taking you seriously right
Hey,
now.
also, I think it's Susan.
Sit in your flashlight.
Should we wear a bikini and not Susan is doing? Just my face.
I don't know what to ask it.
Do you want, let's go to the lady. I
Yeah.
think I have more common.
Well,
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
What's up, ladies? Hey. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, there's that thing.
Ask it to make it to go off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary. Yeah.
Were
Oh,
you
there's a
really-
doll over here. We forgot this hand.
Oh,
Oh no, wait. Were you really smoking and drinking in here? I don't know if that was a yes.
Can you make the antenna go off? It goes off on you're running straight out of Compton. That's where we are.
Were you getting lit in here?
Are we not supposed to talk them, right?
no.
No, we're not talking. I'm just asking where they lit.
Is this, are you holding it? Is that what you're holding?
Yeah, I'm holding the voice thing. Am I supposed to?
I don't want to move my flashlight. I want to go vegan.
I just would like to have a request that you be aware of where you're pointing the thing.
It's like in my eyeball.
She was like, I'd like to welcome you to the tour, and you just had it.
And you're like,
The whole time I was like, can you give me my pin?
Oh. It was probably part of the radio station, but still.
What was that?
I don't know. It was
You heard that?
Yeah, but it was, it was going to the radio stations.
Is that you, Ghosty?
Are there any ladies in here?
Oh, it was like, oh, see you later.
Can you see if there's
Can we
a
do
body
the
mask?
answer?
We can put it up.
What?
This is
Got really
really
bad
Is
goosebumps.
there like a body? Oh wait, is this spider? No, it's nothing.
Are you videotaping?
No. No, I wouldn't never.
I don't know.
That actually answered. Yeah, it did. Did you answer? You know, what came from there?
What?
To shove in a finger?
Yeah. Should we ask for like a sign? What if we split up?
No. No. All four or nothing.
Like that. They are kind of calling that. Hey, that's not. There she is. Okay, good. Yeah. Let's got this one open. Let's sit down. But this couch faces. So I'll sit this down.
Enjoy time and see.
Yeah, that's what you done. They say, just like this. Yeah. Someone says, yeah.
They tell me to stop with my flash.
Yeah.
It just said stop.
Our spirit box doesn't have an antenna, so we're not really getting much on that.
This one, the antenna's not even out. But it just said Stella before, and then it said,
I don't think the ghosts like me.
Stella just got up, and I'm stuck down.
I'll even it out. I got this one.
Ah, there you go.
This is.
Well, kind of. Doesn't even. There you go, see it?
Does anyone want to play?
It did say Stella. It was said Stella in that one. Sometimes the ghost mess out of that box so much I had to change it. They were messing up too much. Oh, I got a blue picture on me. Hey, see, I didn't get nothing with you. See, I got that. I blew it again. Oh, it's all clear on your picture, see? Yep.
That one, I want to have a sleep with me.
No,
I'm
I'm
scared down.
I'm
I'm gonna sit in the corner somewhere
by yourself.
and suck my thumb. Because
Do
that,
you want me to
just
put it
suck
on? Because it seems better.
dude, that place scared, the basement scared the shit out of me.
I did not feel well.
Like, my stomach is barely starting to feel better, which is like a minus.
So, let's put this over here. It's by my phone. That's why it's going on. So, yeah.
Okay, ladies. We just sat here.
Who's better, the ladies or the gentlemen?
Obviously.
Did you just have a panic?
No, I shined a flashlight right.
She was like, hey, you're not talking. Is anybody gonna talk to us? What's over here? Can we talk something about what's in here?
Oh, no. Wait, we can go into that open area.
Oh, the door closed, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We can go up there.
Oh, we didn't even go in that other one.
Oh,
During
yeah.
this time, this room.
So we're shut this one.
Well, it's pretty noisy up there. They ain't just blinding with the lights. Yeah. Blind with the lights and you know we'll be going up there. You'll be having accidents. So what, the Venus not going up? What's going on up there? Yeah.
This, I think, was a Revolutionary War.
Yeah, it was Civil War.
No. It was built on top of the bunkers of the
Oh yeah.
redcoats.
So he must have his hands tied to shackles. Yeah, we asked for that tent to move, but then my Ghostbox went then, so yeah. This one.
Oh, that's right too.
That's my sister.
Stop touching stuff, Dan.
Yeah. One of the sisters. Made that
From there.
next year. Let me see. I got like 3 pictures on here. And then clear. Then clear. And then blue. Then clear. Blue again. Blue again. Then blue.
Does anyone want to talk?
You got some bright light. Very much better. One is so stupid. Hey, look, now when I move from my home, it starts to get out. That means. Oh, you take it to the back. That's what you can. They want to. Looks like there's been people sitting on it. That's like a little fun. Something's going on upstairs. The thing was fun. Who wanted to get to go on the other?
Did you see a bug? I'm getting a lot. Yeah. What did it say?
They said,
Who's upstairs?
in the gold spot with that too.
This chair is very
I sat in it and I got a gold spot. And then it just, oh, it's better. Oh man, you look like this one.
Oh, it's not very tasty.
No, it's like, made all food. Like,
Oh, like you put a lot of focus and stuff.
No, you get there. Oh, fine, every. Oh, look you. Oh, look. You like, look this, you like this.
What's the bachelorette party like over there?
I,
4 girls.
or yeah.
Okay.
I
Does
just
anyone
call
else
them a
think?
bachelorette party because it just seems.
Is anyone upstairs? Oh, that's just stubborn.
Is everyone upstairs annoying you guys?
Man, this. The worst thing when they mix up. Is anyone hunting upstairs? Is Matilda here? Molly? I think Matilda and Molly are supposed.
It's not hot down here. It's the basement. Basements are never hot.
Basement's usually cool, man.
Since you're usually cool, because I'm hot. You know, I'm a natural phenomenon.
Yeah, you're horrible at that.
Probably go fill, well, that one spot that, with that shop guy pushed beat us. It wasn't even that cool for that. You got skill, listen.
I want one of these, because it s'mores a lot.
It's the shower pushing power. That's the one.
So now, is it, wait, it's next to the fireplace?
I'm flying out.
There's some lights that you look cool.
So they think no.
Scott, this is yours.
Oh, yeah. This is nice. Love this couch.
Oh, I like how I picture the those spots.
Look, y'all.
Oh, your shoes are tied.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Wow.
like a busting of the ghost.
Yeah.
I like how you've been good.
Everyone's still
Right.
Alright.
Where's the set for?
She said the same thing as heavy.
It's very heavy.
I'm not quite sure.
We'll set the light on first. Okay. We're gonna turn on both sets to get the water.
Give credit.
Do whatever is easy for you.
But it's easy. Easy.
Thank you.
Cook
I mean, you comment.
and water.
We could just share one. You want my-
If I drink water, I won't be inside anymore.
What was going on there before, by the way?
I think they were in the foyer or in the study.
They were loud, that like, it sounded like they were wrestling up there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh no.
I was like scared.
Like, I hopped on the rail, like, you guys okay up there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're fine, we're just having fun. I think they thought it was like, him, dude upstairs.
Dakota.
Dakota. I think they thought it was Dakota.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I want this guy.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it was funny.
Oh, that's sorry about that.
No, I think they were scaring each other, it was great.
Yeah.
That's
Run
right.
you.
Yeah.
Every time I went somewhere, something would drop. Like a
Do you want to see? I don't want you to do anything you don't. You would like to go do it. You're more than welcome to.
We do like a whole week kind of piece.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Alright, should we just ask if anybody's here yet?
Is that the chair?
Huh?
Is that the chair?
Yeah.
So it's actually coming down, right?
No, that's just them walking around upstairs. That was probably us that they heard too. So we're probably in the footsteps above us.
Yeah.
Because they're walking around.
That's That'll do. That'll actually do.
Is,
Yeah.
I'll get
closer.
Is anybody here? Is anybody here?
I'm not walking back there, I can say that right now. I mean, I'll stand in the doorway if somebody wants to walk their head in, but I am not going back there. I'm already done.
Alright, let's go.
With your little thingy on the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
Or
I'm gonna
you
put
sit
this
there.
voice thing?
Or, yeah, that thing.
Alright, I'm gonna put this thing on the chair. Let me go. Alright, I'm just putting this on the chair. Just let me know if you hear. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so
Can you make it light up this time?
There's so many. I have a weird spot in my head.
What if we put a flashlight there and let it roll? I think Sarah would do that one.
Sarah's probably gonna say that, and I'm not here to do it, so. Which room is she in? The surgery room.
Is anybody here?
We can wait a minute for Frank to tank to come.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it was
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was
So.
so.
We just keep talking to it, so they don't come.
So let's talk through this. What is his name? They just call him Shadow Man, right?
Mhm.
Is your name Shadow Man? What's your real name?
Look at, she said it in the beginning, didn't she?
No, she just said it's a shadow figure.
A very tall man.
Are you your tall man? See, we can look now. There's like no trees in here now.
really need to take a perimeter lap and get out of here.
But I took a picture outside this right before.
Yeah, I need to see it again. I need to see it again.
Alright, so, is there anybody here? Let me get this thing. Alright, let's get the thing, bro. Oh, get it out of here. Okay.
Susan's bawling and my face
Like,
Are you really crying?
I'm not like,
No, yeah.
They can always let us know that you're here.
You ladies love the chandeliers. Aren't they beautiful? Chandelier. It will, yeah. I think there's some singing like that. Who is it that likes to play the piano?
I'm sure there had to be somebody.
Do you want to come play for us? Okay. I'm getting a feeling like a little kid laying under a couch looking at all the feet and the legs of the people moving around dancing. And some people are barefooted, which is a little freaky. But like maybe the kids watched until they were caught, I guess. The activities, yeah. That sounds exactly like little kids. I can see the feet, and there's some bare feet. That's weird. What kind of shoes did they wear back then? Ooh, I can't imagine them on this floor. And the party spilled out into the squares. I bet it was something. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anybody with anybody.
Yeah. Oh, the parties that you get for several blocks.
I'm sure. Yes, we play.
Yeah.
Imagine all the people just visited. Yeah, from all area.
So funny. I didn't realize that. That was making sense. walking?
Yeah.
Come here?
Yeah.
Where do you walk? This is.
That's what's his name upstairs.
That's the caretaker.
Oh, let's see.
Ooh, you can feel. What do you think?
With me? Or do you want to put the flashlight down, see if she'll roll it?
Not really. It's
Oh.
cobbly. Also, can you ask her if there's bed bugs on that?
Are there bed bugs on the couch, Sarah?
We have rules, Sarah.
We have rules, Sarah.
You
I'm
ask-
saying.
We're about to lose.
We're on the spectrum.
Specifically burglary over here.
Do you like toe thumbs?
We've got one of them.
Here I
We've got
am.
one. We have a toe thumb.
Do you have a toe thumb?
We have a mom's penis. What more did you ask for in this group?
Okay.
Have you experienced the quivering?
Alright. If I sit on it, take a picture of me on the couch. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, Sarah, I'm gonna take
He's
a
taking
picture.
a picture. I can't.
I want
to
I
sit
can't
with
with my
you?
arms right
Do you
now.
want to sit on it?
That means one of us has to take the picture and that's not happening. So
Okay.
y'all figure that out.
Okay.
Take a selfie.
Real
Nobody
normal
wants to
voice.
sit with me?
Do you want me to sit with you?
Do you want to sit with me?
I mean, I'll do it for you.
If you want to. Only if you want to.
Why does it feel so bad in my body?
Okay. I'll just sit. You don't have to sit. I'll just sit.
Okay. Great. All right.
Alright, I'm gonna take a selfie, girl. Trying to take a picture of me. Okay, I'm gonna sit on this little couch. Very nice. Irish shirt. Okay. I'm just saying. Oh, I think.
She's cute. If there's somebody sitting next to her, I
Is
will,
there
I
anybody
will
here?
I will shit my pants. Oh my god.
Did we take a selfie, girl?
This is the best photo I've ever taken in my life.
Really see?
Okay. I want to play with her.
Where's the flashlight?
Yeah, where's the little flashlight?
I have one. Got one on me. I've got this on. As long as it says juice,
All right.
we're good.
Well, there's a doctor in here, not just Sarah, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
we
that.
have another doctor.
No, we don't. I don't know shit about medicine. Not married to one.
Okay.
My dad's not one.
I'm gonna put.
I'm not
Should I
related.
turn it on? How do you turn it on?
It's on the end.
Okay.
I think you drop it. Just turn it
I think he's
Alright. So,
on. I think you get in the
I'm
mood.
gonna point this
But
My
why
chest
would it
hurts a
roll in
lot.
this? I don't know if the
on the
physics
brick.
are there.
I don't know. Can you roll the flashlight? Like, Sarah, do you want to play hide and seek? Some? Roll the flashlight. God, know you're here. Can't play with nobody. Is the doctor here? What about a patient?
Oh my
Flicker?
god.
So it's a patient, okay. What's your problem?
No, not like
No,
that.
what was no, I mean, like, what's your ailment?
surgery?
Yeah.
What's your ailment?
surgery?
What was your surgery?
Oh, my
That's
hair
what I
is
meant.
fucking standing on end.
So you were a patient here, is that correct? Is there a patient here? I mean, what's your problem with that? And then what was your ailment?
Yeah, what
That
made you?
required a
What was your
doctor?
surgery?
So you guys see the flashlights he was spelling out for you?
No, like I have the talkie box.
Are you still here? Are you still here? Do you want to talk? Did you have surgery down here? Did you die down here? Are you the doctor? If you're the doctor, can you make the light flicker again? Are you the patient?
No, I'm not hearing anything. Are you Sarah? Playing a game with us? Can you make the flashlight flicker? Are you a child? Are you an adult? Are you, I don't know, there's nothing else. An adult.
Maybe we just do this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So,
Right.
no, all of us are like
Easy,
every
no,
2 seconds.
sorry, need to know.
Easy Riddler.
Okay. Well, if I make the light flicker, then you can also see this, right? Can you make the light flicker?
What was
That's
that?
just radio. I don't think that was anything. Is anybody here? Didn't you say it's the most active journalist?
Frank was the most active. Frank like that.
Ooh, Frank, are you down here?
Please say that.
Frank, did you follow us? Okay. Should we move on to another room?
All right, we're gonna go.
Alright,
It's been real.
Thank you for your time. Should we go on which one? This one?
Did we come in here then? No. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
This
this
is
just
the
like-
other kitchen, right?
Oh, I heard something. Was someone talking? Something is said in here. Did you hear it? Can you say it again?
Just not for us, honey.
You almost want to dance, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'll show you a couple of new ones.
Just not picking up on it. You guys get to come in here after everybody's gone and sit down and rest. If I were after everybody was in bed, I would love to come in the room and sit down. Okay, couches. you guys allowed to do that, or did you do it?
We take a sip of that whiskey.
Oh. Nobody would know.
Sounds like this is a beautiful area.
But it's also done for
It
radio stations
is.
too. It is a beautiful two-room.
Which area normally give the most activity from person?
Well, they moved the Mark Twain chairs, but there used to be 3 women that sat in the Mark Twain chairs.
In here.
But not anymore. And they had cats. Those cats. That's so cool.
Wow.
Nothing like they have keys.
So where's, is the breeze, walkaway, but there's, what does that go, out to that one?
That's interesting.
That is.
Okay, cause it looked like it's closed door, but it's.
Okay, here's my theory. She used to tell the story of Matilda up here, and Matilda would recreate it and run through here in a frantic look, and she'd go right by the desk and out this door because she could run through there. I think it was a bathroom or something, and she could look out the window to Molly. And I even think there was a way she could get over there. You know, like maybe the catwalk
right there.
or something around there.
Or like a quick staircase down to go over to that staircase.
She was headed that way to get to Molly.
Molly's here.
Oh, yeah, you could even see her windows from here.
And she was searching. And she was trying to get Molly through there. So that is interesting. And they used to have this chair move a lot. And I think it's because
That's where she was
Matilda was
from.
brushing by it, getting out of here. But she
I was taking some pictures of that chair the minute ago. I'm really not sure why.
That was it.
The chair just gave me a feeling.
That's where she runs. They put a doll in it today. So yeah, that area, let's think that you were over there and you were drawn to take pictures of that chair.
It was like almost like I could feel something near it, but I just couldn't quite figure out what it was. Yeah.
It's a terrible story.
Was she on this level or on the next level?
She ran upstairs and jumped.
It's one hell of a fall.
And you know it must have not been the first time. You know, like she knew,
If that was her first.
I was just gonna say, cause I was like, the drama.
but it just happened to be at the right time where she was planning this party and nobody was around to help her. And
That's just horrible.
And I guess after you live with somebody like that so long, you lose a little bit of your mind anyway.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you kind of have to
Having children with them, do that. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Alright, everybody, it is time for the next rotation. Those in the parlors, you're going downstairs. Those in the lower level, you're going to the carriage house. And those that are going back to the mansion and upstairs to the parlor room.
We're going downstairs. Y'all enjoy your party. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you.
Let us crash it.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Less than good attire.
Just say goodbye. Give us a little,
Just say goodbye.
give us a little farewell. Shut us out the door.
ballroom, we're in party time, all. And this movie, The Spirit Box, here. Yes, so let me in, come up here. What do you guys do? Little song down there.
Well, what's the?
I'll find my way through the ghost crowd real quick. Pardon me, sir. Pardon me. Like your jacket.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna get out my recorder.
So this is the men's side. I'm gonna go to the women's side and start some shenanigans.
Okay.
Start some shit. Cover your ankles. Man in the building.
Well, if your mom's watching, man.
Oh, I know she is.
Well, probably we watching. That is big. Take it away. It's only 122.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I saw something fly right through my camera.
Hello. Okay.
Ask you something?
What were you,
I don't know.
what were you in here for? Did you make it? Survive?
What was it?
I don't know, I heard something. Can you say something to us?
We would love to hear your story. And you can talk into the machine.
Yeah, the way we get to hear you is through this. Can you come up here and say something? Say hey to us?
Or you could tell us your name.
Oh, why is that one?
Okay, that gave me a little chill at my neck. Are you associated with the wheelchair?
Were you in the wheelchair? Can you make it move for us?
You go sit in the chair one day, it'll light up some lights over there.
Can you,
That way you can, oh my gosh.
can you say that again?
Do you not want to sit in the chair? I
Something
know,
says it.
right?
Can you use your energy to say something through here? Anything at all?
Walter? Are you a man or a woman?
What is on it?
Ooh, I thought I saw something.
Every time I try to take a picture, that's like an old,
It like moved in the camera.
yeah, that's like an old thing that moves. There was an old thing in the kitchen. Yeah. With you, got my arm. That's fine. That's where my arm is. My shoes were there told me. Then I ain't gonna have a lot of pictures with me.
Who's all talking over there?
I think Thursday's all late, so I'm gonna be late, guys.
Whose piano is that? That's say Molly.
Hey. Yeah, I love the Christmas Eve. See, this chair, this was the chair that moved by itself. Okay, stand. Can you stand in the chair? If I was this big, I'd probably be a mad one. Striking on somehow.
No, see. Shit.
The question is, now I'm gonna put this on the woman's side. See? Oh, look, now they start talking. Wait a minute, they start talking.
Check it out. So we can.
See? Now since I put it on the woman's side, now that's probably gonna be talking about the men on here. I did take pictures like piano. That's two keys supposed to be in his. Only two keys, I don't know which keys. This thing haven't gone off. Oh my goodness.
It's the wedding march, Dana. That's on there. There's a wedding here.
I mean, they probably. I mean, it's, I don't know, it's a little small for.
Intimate wedding. Well, in the 1800s, I had people flying in from all over the country.
Well, no, I mean, in the 1800s, yes, but
I'm just thinking about it as a current day.
You can fit the who's who of Savannah here. No, who's who of Savannah? Like to put, yeah, they live in Savannah. The mayor. The local constable.
The constable?
The constable.
It's funny, I ain't done nothing downstairs. But I'm going to go in that monster. Monster, yeah.
You guys stuck here because of your name? Or do you choose to be here? If you're stuck here, maybe you tell us your story, you'll get to pass on. Is there a tall fellow in here that wants to say something too?
That seems like a very beginning. Somebody's kept calling me that.
Before she could say anything about that, I saw the light dart through there earlier. Wow. It was like just past their shoulder for me. I saw it in like my peripheral. And when I glanced over, I could still see it like darting like the side. And then a couple minutes later, she said something about that. Yeah. What do you dart? Are you like on duty? Might be, might be a call. Yeah. Are you guarding all the hurt soldiers? That's a good. It might explain all the emotions that one guy was feeling that day. Yeah. Somebody trying to protect the land of hurt soldiers. Wow. Well, what got y'all interested in doing this? I've always been into it since I was a kid. Something happened? No. Just wondering about the other stuff. Yeah. That's good. Just wonder why they. It's just very interesting. Yeah, I know.
Do you know what happened? Do you hear? How did you feel about Frank?
Alright, so we got EMF in there. One here. Old lady say hi. No. What about Flint State and Ricky Lake? Got salmon over here. Baby. Perfect. Catch it. Indeed. Like piano music.
And I did it anyway.
Like it's fall.
Yeah.
What? What? I don't want to see those doors close automatically. I'm curious, how does it? Put the other chandelier. Steve, Grandma's. Call me the other boys again. Damn it.
Yeah, it's like somebody's trying to pull you in there, but then when you get close to somebody else, it's like, no, don't go in there. Yeah.
What is the sense on
Molly, are you in there? Can you touch me in front of the chair? Molly, if you're in there, touch me in front of the chair. Molly, let me hear your story. Sam, are you in here? Can you touch the antenna on the chair? Ooh, what? Is anybody in here? Can you make yourself known? You okay?
Oh, God.
The main course? I feel like I'd have to be a side dish. Who's cooking? Who does the cooking at this fire? Do you ever eat rabbit?
Drawing me in here. Can you say anything?
All right, everyone, it is time to wrap it up for the night. We are going to meet back in the bottom level of the carriage house.
Until next.
When everybody's ready, we're going to meet right back in this room over here.
Oh, shit. He's all cats. He's all cats.
You can set your equipment down anywhere right here.
We found the flashlights too.
Yeah, I think somebody else has.
Thank you.
Yeah, flashlight.
I was like, oh no.
One time.
Scream Sorrel-Weed House. Like a dolphin.
Like,
I don't think we can.
that's for the grandkids. Oh,
And is there one more flashlight?
Yeah.
One more flashlight?
Just looking for it
Oh,
upstairs. Put a flashlight up there.
We
brought one.
found one upstairs.
We found one
upstairs.
Oh, you found it upstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was my line. I was going out there in the dark for a little bit.
So I kind of just want to hear from everybody and see what happened, if anything. What about you four right here? Do you want to go first? What stood out to you?
Frank messed with us pretty heavy in the study.
Yeah.
There were very distinct knocks on both windows.
Oh, wow.
And we were talking to him and we asked him if he wanted us to either stay or come in, and he would definitely knock on
Like
the
a three
windows.
knock.
Yeah, it was like
And it was bouncing in between the two windows.
Yeah. That was like on command?
Mhm.
yeah.
Cool.
And it was sometimes we asked if there were like children up here or something, and then one time it knocked 3 times. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it was a lot of
Where was
hanging out
that?
with Frank.
Frank's
study.
The room that you said was the least activity, we had the most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
yeah, because nothing really happened in the parlors, right? No, it was
Like-
just in that room,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
And what about in the lower level? What stood out to you there?
We did get some activity on one of our flashlights in the
Like a-
surgery room.
Like
Flicker. We asked.
Oh, yeah. Dakota captured that on the live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that is posted up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it felt like I was being choked.
Yeah. We definitely felt the throat constriction big time in a couple of places.
And then you saw a shadow or something cover, like there's part of a window.
There's
open.
like a drape in the breezeway that's open, and it kept blacking out for me.
I've had other people say that on nights where there was like a crack in the drapes, like you say, where people have seen like something go by like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Kind of deal.
twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
And we tried to reproduce it where somebody like goes out and like walks on the street to see if it's like the same effect, and they said no, that it was darker, because indicating that perhaps it was like
Yeah, that was, there was definitely like going in and out of the one room, like what you had said, that other person did, like the throat, the throat thing was crazy. Like I couldn't talk.
And so that was in the surgery for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the kitchen was a little.
Yeah.
The kitchen was just iffy feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that I didn't feel well. And then just upstairs was probably, that was probably, like I was freezing up there.
We
Like,
turned out all
like,
the lights, and that's when
yeah, when we turned out all lights, that's when she got what.
Yeah, like it was the same like throat
Like,
stuff, and then I couldn't actually I couldn't take a breath.
Yeah.
It didn't feel good. Like it was like a very sort of like threatening.
Yeah.
Like the Frank thing felt like fun, and
Yeah,
he was
right.
playing with us
Yeah.
or something. And
But
then-
upstairs was
Different
not.
feeling.
Big
Yeah.
time.
So a little something in each area for you guys then tonight. Interesting, yeah. What about your team here? What stood out to you guys?
We had a lot of stuff coming out of that ghost box.
Yeah?
Like,
Oh yeah, I thought it was neat. You said that when you were up here, you got the word slavery come through the spirit box, which last night, yeah, a group said that when they were up there, they had the word slave come through the spirit box, and they emailed it. I haven't had a chance to review that yet, but that, yeah, that was really neat. That was interesting to me. What else happened for you up here? Anything else? No? What about the lower level? Anything there stand out to you?
It was very heavy to me.
Yeah?
I just didn't.
Especially the shower.
Yeah?
I was sitting on the same chair. She was sitting right next to me. Tried a cold breeze for a minute,
Yeah.
and then disappeared.
Cool. Anything else from the lower level at all? Like in the surgery or anything?
I started burning up.
Yeah? I'm kind of opposite.
In front of the fireplace.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I
Which
don't know.
one?
It was just really hot.
The one in
I
the
don't know.
surgery room.
Yeah?
It felt fine.
I felt really hot there too. Molly's food was
Yeah,
hot.
I think it's just a hot room.
It is a hot room, that's for sure. Can you imagine the slaves working down there in the
No,
summer?
the actual fire is
Yikes.
going.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. What about the parlors? Anything there for you?
I think Swell didn't like it. See her call it French.
Oh yeah, I said Frank.
He didn't like that.
No.
No?
No.
What happened with that?
We started getting a lot on the spirit box, and it got really chaotic.
Yeah?
That time I kept going, women, guys, and they kept going off. Talking, and then we went across, but Swell was there. He was talking.
That's awesome. I love it. They were getting some activity last night in the parlors, like right in between the men and women's, like in that
That's what we
little
did
area.
too.
Yeah?
We was getting stuff out there.
Super cool. Alright, what about this team over here? What stood out to you guys?
I don't like that breezeway.
Yeah?
I don't think that breezeway likes me either.
What happened there?
The spirit box told me to get out.
Yeah?
And so I was like, okay, let's back up.
I like that though. I like that you listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, alright, that's fine.
I'm like, I don't know where to go. I don't want any trouble, bud.
What about elsewhere in the basement? Any activity in the surgery or anything?
It was really thick in the surgery, but not a lot of activity for me at least.
Yeah? Yeah?
They're having succotash for supper.
Yeah, we did hear that.
What about Carriage House? Anything up there stand out?
There's a little bit upstairs that we kept, she kept feeling a lady over by the fireplace.
Yeah?
And then we kept kind of getting some interesting things with the spirit box
Oh,
on
yeah,
that. Something
rice.
about rice.
Yeah,
They're having rice.
Yeah.
We've had people up there get food, talk about food on the spirit box. Wasn't it you? Wasn't it somebody you were with one night? I can't remember. I think they were talking the same. It was on Halloween. Yeah, so that kind of makes sense for us then. We've heard like similar
Food
things.
is the universal language.
Yeah.
Everyone speaks food.
What about parlor rooms? Anything?
We didn't
There's a lot of activity up there at all, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not too many partying going on.
No.
Much partying going on. Cool. Well, anything you wanted to mention?
Yeah, so I caught a couple of things on the live stream, and so when I tell you guys this, so that like when you guys look back at the live stream, there's this little white clock that's at the top of the image. So when I tell you guys like the minutes and hours and whatnot, refer to that clock up there.
And you can post that in the YouTube comments, right?
Yeah, I'll post that in the YouTube comments as well. And so at 32 minutes, so that would basically be 12:32. Past midnight, there are you four ladies up in the parlor rooms. I saw this thing, and oftentimes we do have a lot of dust that flies in, and particles of air that flies in, through the cameras, and we also get bugs every now and then too. So I'm kind of getting used to what both of them looks like and how their flight pattern looks like. But I found it really odd that this circular thing, I don't know if it was dust or a bug, but I just found it really fascinating and a weird coincidence that this thing that is not a verb, flew in from the top of the image and it disappeared into the chest of one of you. I can't remember who it was. But I mean, it flew in and it disappeared right here, and I'm like, well, I mean, if that's dust or bug, it's just an odd coincidence. I would just disappear right there. And also, I caught you guys' reactions to the flashlight down in the lower level. And also, while you guys were down there, I don't know if you heard it at the time, but a little time afterwards, it's 1:11 on the clock. Or the flashlight was 1:08:45, or a little bit before. But at 1:11:45, there was like this metal squeak in the room. Did you guys hear anything about that?
Yeah, we heard a lot. I don't know. My brain is really busy right now.
Yeah, that's all.
Thanks, Dakota.
Yeah. Lots of activity over here.
It's made the goose chest. That's what I want. We'll watch it.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
I already know what Go to sleep. Did everybody have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. I want to offer you folks one of these, whoop, or throw it at you. One of these on your way out. This is like a little social media card. So it has Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. There's all kinds of stuff posted up. Footage from tours, EVPs, live photos. Sometimes we'll film the tour guide saying what happened on their tours. I mean, just a variety of things you can always check out and keep up with us. So on YouTube, that's where you'll find the live stream for tonight with the date on it. Email is on here. If you found anything you want to share with us via audio recording, photograph, or just general question, whatever you got, feel free to shoot us an email, most definitely. TripAdvisor's on here if you want to share your positive experience. Of course, we appreciate that. It tells more people about the event, and I'm very proud of this event because it is kind of unique in the paranormal field. But also it brings more people to the house, which is important to everyone here that works here because this is a non-profit. So when you purchased your ticket tonight, you supported the historic preservation of this property, and I thank each and every one of you for that, no matter what, no doubt. But thank you for coming tonight. It was nice to meet all of you. It was a fun time. We had a bit of activity. Come back. We do history tours during the day, guided ghost tours at night. This event weekly, all-nighters once a month, which is super fun.
Wouldn't make it.
I'm going to leave the cards here. I am going to go make sure the gate's open for you, but feel free if you have any questions for me. Dakota's still around. Anything like that. No worries. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
What did you say?
1:11.
No, 1:11 was the other stuff. It was 12.
Very nice to meet you.
It was very good to meet you. It was fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this.
Yeah. Are y'all from around?
We live north of Atlanta.
Yeah, I went to Georgia.
Yeah, we'll have to go back.
Gosh, it's probably been like 7 years.
Yeah.
It's too long.
Oh, it's, well, due to the weather, it takes a lot longer.